Bueno, en esta ocasión vamos a platicar con una invitada que es latina y que vive aquí en los Estados Unidos, específicamente en Sacramento, California, la capital de la sexta economía del mundo. Y queremos platicar con ella acerca de su experiencia naciendo y creciendo aquí en los Estados Unidos como latina, los retos que tiene expresándose en español o comunicándose con la otra gente latina o con los mismos americanos de otras razas que viven aquí, y en general su experiencia, ¿no? Cómo es para una persona de padres latinos crecer y vivir en los Estados Unidos y desenvolverse en su ámbito profesional. Con su novia Silvia. Silvia, muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Silvia habla español.
Sí.
De repente se pone un
Aunque
poquito...
no sé... No.
Se pone un poco nerviosa a veces, pero sí entiende. Entonces voy a preguntarle a veces en inglés o en español y ella a veces va a contestar en español si puede, y si no, se va a brincar. Lo importante es que ustedes entiendan su experiencia, y si se cambia al inglés, nosotros les vamos a poner unos subtítulos aquí en español para que ustedes no tengan ningún problema. So, I'm going to start asking Silvia things about her background, like where she was born and you know the context of your family.
So I was born here in California, in Sacramento, the capital of California. And my parents are from Mexico, they're from Jalisco. And my experience was one that I think is very unique to kids who are born in the US but their parents are immigrants, which is we learn Spanish from them and we only practice it in the house. So when we're out in school, we're out with our friends in social situations, we're only speaking English all the time. So naturally our English is going to be much better. We don't practice our Spanish as much. So I think this experience for me was very special because I get to speak with native Spanish speakers and get practice in every single day. And for me, that's very meaningful because it makes me feel more connected to obviously my cultural background and my parents. But I can also speak with native speakers much faster and understand, you know, little cultural nuances in the languages.
So before going to school, the first language you spoke was Spanish.
Yes.
Spanish.
Yes. Yeah. So
I'm assuming when you started going to school, you then realized that a lot of kids, they didn't speak Spanish; they spoke only English, right?
Yeah. That was shocking. That was shocking. So when I was little, my dad would always force us. He was very, very strict. He would say español only. So we would be in the house dinner time. Only Spanish was allowed in the house. And when I was little, I would get very frustrated, right? Because I was like, I want to go and speak English with my friends, but you're only letting us speak Spanish. So at the time it was kind of frustrating, but now I'm so grateful that he made it a habit for us to practice our Spanish and to be confident, comfortable with it. And fortunately, if you're not practicing every day, you're not going to be confident. So for me, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm building up that confidence. So every day I ask Antonio to correct me. I ask him to tell me what certain words are, what they mean in Spanish, and we do that for each other, I think, which is very good because I think the biggest thing is we're afraid to make the mistakes, right? We're afraid because we don't want to sound silly or whatever the case is. And I don't think, we have to make those mistakes for people to correct us, but also to feel confident in getting better, right?
Mm-hmm. So, voy a cambiar un poquito al español y me contestas inglés si quieres. Entonces ahora sigues hablando español y like looking back to the times where you were a kid, ¿crees que haya valido la pena que tus papás te hayan hablado en español? ¿Ha sido una ventaja para ti, aunque no hables el español 100%, si lo puedas entender y expresarte? ¿Es una ventaja para ti ahorita?
Sí, claro que sí. Es una ventaja para mí porque cuando era chiquita iba a la tienda con mi mamá. Siempre yo era la que tenía que traducir, right? Cuando íbamos a Safeway o a una tienda, ella me agarraba y me llevaba con ella a hablar con los chequeros o lo que sea, porque yo era la que tenía que traducir para ella y siempre así practicaba mi español. So ahora que estoy entrando a esta época de mi vida profesional, para mí me está ayudando a abrir más puertas, más ventanas, más puertas.
También te puede ayudar a abrir ventanas, todo.
Porque para mí soy como un, how do you say, asset.
Como assets como un activo, como sí, como un valor ahí.
Les hago más valor a esta firma porque ellos quieren a alguien que es de los Estados Unidos, que habla inglés bien, pero también puedo traducir o hablar o comunicarme con el equipo en México. Y para ellos es algo muy efectivo,
Sí, muy valioso.
Muy valioso.
So do you think that being able to speak Spanish right now, it's an advantage for you? It's something that you use. It has allowed you to be in this position and to work more efficiently, right? And so what was your recommendation for parents that are like Hispanic parents that they are struggling right now? They have the dilemma of speaking Spanish only to their kids in their homes, or maybe they think, no, I don't want them to speak Spanish because they're going to be bullied when they go out of school. So what do you think?
I think the best thing is for if you're newly immigrated to the United States, I think it's great to have your kids speak Spanish at home, but also for the parents themselves to not just rely on their children, because then you're constantly relying on them to be able to translate for you. So you don't want to go out to the stores, you don't want to go out shopping if you don't have your kid there to translate for you. So I think the same way that your kid has to learn and practice their Spanish, the parents should try as well. I think it's good for both, definitely, to practice and learn the English language, because at the end of the day, it's going to benefit you. Even if it's just a little bit of practice. Watching television or movies, perfect practice. Yeah.
So for you, if I see you, if I don't know if you're Latina, I wouldn't guess that you're Latina. So how's your experience when interacting with other Latinos, and since you don't have this typical
beautiful
this look like Aztec look?
I pay so much money for that. So much money.
So it's frustrating. It's how do you live that?
Yeah, it is definitely frustrating because first and foremost, nobody thinks you're Hispanic, or they don't believe you, or they think, oh, the only way you can be Hispanic is if you're beautiful and brown, like Antonio. But obviously, Mexico is full of different cultures and different, the history of Mexico is so unique that naturally you're gonna have, more light-skinned Latinos. And so for me, it's nice to have that experience here in the U.S. because a lot of Americans don't expect that. They don't expect that I'm going to speak Spanish. They don't assume that my parents are from Mexico. So it's an opportunity for me to educate them as well, and to let them know that, hey, Latinos are all over the spectrum in terms of their cultural background and what they can look like. But also, to be able to represent and say, hey, like my parents immigrated here and they created so much opportunity for me, and so I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity, but also use what they taught me to try and give back to my community as well as Mexico if I can.
Okay, now I want to talk about your present. Can you share with us and to the audience that is watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, or wherever you're watching us, and what do you do right now? So you're working, are you studying?
Yeah, so right now I'm unemployed. Right now I work with OSIS as a junior business analyst, and I'm learning as much as I possibly can. I'm soaking up everything I can in the world of IT, because I don't have an IT background. I made that very clear when they interviewed me. And really, I think my strengths are in being an effective communicator. I have a degree in communication studies, and then I enjoy marketing, so videography, anything that I can create that can communicate a message to a large audience, for me is very exciting and very much a passion of mine. But with IT, being able to communicate effectively, I'm learning how to do that in Spanish. So that for me is a really cool, cool opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the rest of Latinas out there that want to get to your position, so what has been that path for you? You know, because many of them want to go to college, kind of want to get an education, but they think that it's so expensive that they cannot afford it. So what is it? So is it there is options like affordable options to get education?
Definitely here in the U.S., the options as far as government assistance, there's financial aid, there's scholarships, there's internships. You can find paid or unpaid internships. I think the most valuable thing is networking, because you never know what opportunity could be presented to you if you don't go out and meet people. And that's exactly how I met Anthony. I met him at a networking event for Latinos. And had I not been there, had I not brought up my interest in wanting to step into his world, because I had my background, but I was trying to figure out, how do I utilize this in a meaningful way? How do I utilize the skills that I already have in an industry that I'm not familiar with? And also not being afraid to step into that industry that is so foreign to you, because IT seems overwhelming and complicated and technical. It's being willing to take risks and take opportunities that come to you, because you don't know what could come of them. You don't know what it could turn into or who it could lead you to. Yeah.
Bueno, pues ha sido muy interesante escuchar a Silvia y darnos un poquito más de compartir con nosotros un poquito más de su vida y saber los retos por los que se trata y las oportunidades que ha tomado, ¿no? Entonces, pues ahí lo tienen. Si es posible hacer una carrera aquí en Estados Unidos, definitivamente hay opciones caras, pero también hay opciones más baratas, hay servicios del gobierno que podamos utilizar. Si ustedes no están seguros de qué opciones tienen para seguir estudiando, visiten la página de migobierno.com. Tenemos una sección ahí de educación en donde pueden encontrar becas, donde pueden encontrar algunos programas de apprenticeships. Se me olvidó cómo se dice en español. Pero ahí pueden encontrar la información y no sé si antes de despedirnos, Silvia, ¿quieres compartir algo en inglés o en español para la gente? ¿O estás bien así?
I think that's good. Yeah, muchas gracias a todos.
Muy bien, pues muchas gracias por vernos y nos vemos pronto otra vez. Adiós. Bye.